Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Chit Chat and Chill. This is our third time going live. We are very excited to have you guys join us again. As we give people time to join, I just want to do a brief intro, let you guys know a little bit about our group. Chit Chat and Chill is a group of people who we're basically trying to encourage dialogue amongst family and friends. We noticed that with cancel culture and all the stuff going on in the world, on social media, a lot of people were getting attacked for just having a difference of opinion, especially amongst friend groups and family groups. And we thought that was just not cool. We didn't like that. Our friend group is all about talking to each other and discussing things and having dialogue, even if we disagree wholeheartedly. We know the importance of dialogue and how, it should bring us closer as a group as we learn our differing views, etc. So that's what our group is about. Tonight, we're talking about something a little not like politics or anything like that, which if you paid attention to our podcast has been something we talked about a lot over the past year. But tonight we're actually talking about being in a relationship during COVID. So pandemic love. And, we're going to talk a little bit about the good and the bad. We have a few couples on here. We have a decent amount of experiences. So with that, I'll just introduce myself and then I'll pass it on to the next person to introduce themselves. And then once we do some intros, we're just going to get started into our. So hello, everyone. I'm Shantae. I'm actually married to David, who's also on this call. We've been married 9 years in December, and we have two small kids who are 6 and 4. Almost
9 years.
I know, man. It's a long time, man. This is Dave. As Shantae said, she's the first wife. My second wife, been together for about 5 years. The third wife, it's been about 1.5 years. Unfortunately, they couldn't be on this call. So
this is my life. He's a liar. All right. So, JB,
married to LaShine. We've been together for like 10 years. Married 4.
Cool. Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin. I have been married. It'll be 14 years in April. I have actually known my husband since I was 8. We went to grammar school together. So he spent a lot of time wearing me down.
Awesome. Santino.
My name is Santino. I've been married for 2 years. We've been together about 7 years now. Aaron, you're the only person's wedding I went to in this call. I remember going to your wedding.
You went to our barbecue.
Yeah, but I didn't go to your wedding. Whatever, you guys did your thing.
We eloped in Vegas. Cliff.
Cliff, CJ. Hello, everybody. Been in a relationship. It's a little complicated. I think I'm the only one that can do a singles and a relationship group me. But I think with my girl Courtney, we've been together, I would say, a good 4 years consistently now. And then we had some off and on, so maybe about 2 on, a year off, then back 2 on, a year off. So that probably go back to like 2005. So you can add up the time, but that's a real relationship in today's world. Right there.
That's true.
Hey,
And when we get married, about like 10 years from now, man, you invited.
I'm there.
We still getting to know each other.
Just in time, Jasmine.
Let's hope I do not get kicked out again. It keeps kicking me out.
Okay. Well, we're just doing intros. Do you want to do a brief intro? How long have you guys been? Who are you and how long have you guys been together?
Jasmine.
Rayvon.
Like 3.5 years.
Awesome.
That's pretty
All right. So now that you all know a little bit about us, we're going to jump into our first question for the night, which is, how have you all handled being around each other 24/7 for almost a year now?
So I will start that off. I am blessed to say that we have a basement. So we have not had to be around each other. My husband has his game. He has his desk with all his work, his Legos. So He has the basement. I have the first floor, and then my kids have the upper level. So we have all had space for each other.
That's awesome. JB, you want to go next?
Yeah. So nothing really changed for me and LaShawn because we both still work.
Mm.
So we're pretty much doing the same routine, except we can't go to the show anymore. But we watch all the movies on the streaming services because they're on here now. So it's pretty much the same for us. Nothing changed.
And Aaron, I aspire to be like you with so for me it's been rough. In the beginning, I'm starting to adjust now. So you got to think about a year ago, we had just purchased a house. So it was a lot of stress kind of going through that process. And then we moved right around the shutdown. So like as soon as we moved, they're like, all right, stay in the house. Oh, okay, that's cool. But like if you know me, I like to be outside. Like I like to be out with people and all that stuff. So, you know, when things you have a little disagreement or whatever, or you just get tired of everything, it's nice to be able to go somewhere else. And now you can't do that. So it was a bit of an adjustment for me. But eventually when we set up the basement, I will be in the basement. That's going to be my getaway spot. And, you know, we'll see how things go.
Yeah,
you can still go, Dave.
You could.
Yeah, but I want to live to be able
to. So it's that balance of how do you go out and keep your family safe and keep your, it's just a lot because we still have our youngest daughter in daycare and, we end up getting in and we put other people at risk. And so it's a whole big thing, but I'll just respond to you. I don't have much more to add to that other than to just say, Dave's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I liked being home. He liked going out. It worked well because it was a good balance. We were around each other as much as we wanted to be. And we were also able to get, like when he went out and stuff, that was my time to just have alone time. And now I don't have that anymore. So it's been a little crazy. So,
okay, so I think I'm kind of like, our situation is kind of similar to y'all's then because I don't know about the introvert extrovert thing, but we opposite. So I like to get out more. And I get to my breaking points where it's like I can stay in the house and keep busy here, but I mean between all the work and then baby and then house projects and then opposite of y'all, I sold put the house on the market, sold it, and then the sale fell through and then moved back in. So between all that nonsense, like I need a break. So I've been out. I wear my mask. I watch where I go to and stuff like that. But I mean, I have my breaking points, and so she's good at when she sees me ready to break. She's like, go get out of here. Or she'll even like arrange stuff for me because she knows when I need to go. So
Santino and then Jasmine.
So same thing. Like we, my wife was working almost exclusively from home. Pretty like right at the beginning, she's still working from home exclusively. Me, I've been kind of doing a bit of a hybrid. I'm in the office sometimes. I'm home sometimes. That's pretty consistent throughout. And so the funny thing for us is initially, we just had the one floor that we were kind of living on, and it was like we'd have these work meetings, and like one of us would have to like take a drive somewhere while the other one had to do with the meeting. Like the proximity was so close. But I know you guys know, like I did some major renovations at the house, and now we kind of have our own spaces. And that's been working well. In terms of like us having to be around each other 24/7. I don't know, like. I don't know if it's like because we've only been married a couple of years, and we're a bit of an old school couple, so we only started living together after we got married, and so it's just so like all kind of like fresh for the two of us, even within these 2 years. I mean, granted that like we are a little bit older in terms of like we're not like some 20 young early 20s getting married. So we carry a little more experience with that and learn and knowing how to like resolve conflicts between the two of us. But very much, I feel like this almost. There were times where this almost felt like a bit of a honeymoon for us. There were times, especially early on, you know, where it's like, well, we have all this time together. Let me get up early. I'm gonna make breakfast. Let me get up. Oh, let me make lunch. Like, and it carried on like that for a while, you know.
Nice. Well, that's different.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the best way I could describe it. Because, like, you know, we had our honeymoon, we got married, we had our honeymoon, and then, like, right after that, it was like right back to work, and it's been work the last, you know, from at that point, it was like work for like a year and a half, you know, and we get all this time, all of a sudden now it's like, oh, well, let's go take a drive, and it's like we end up in like the middle of Illinois, by some state park, and we're going for hikes and things like that, and you know, it was, you know, it's kind of awesome, you know. Not saying it's not good, we'll probably get into some of the other stuff, but the gist of it has been, for the most part, good.
Awesome. Good to hear. Jasmine, do you want to give a little bit of update about how you guys have been doing, being so close to each other?
I guess I'll give my version. I won't speak for the both of us now. But
It's a trap.
It's been kind of it was a struggle in the beginning, but now that like we're both at work, because like I didn't have work for like the first half, so like once I went back to work in July, it was easier because we weren't literally up under each other, and I wasn't bored out of my mind just sitting at home all day.
So
Like,
that's my thing with younger people. So, you know, that's my thing with you younger guys, Jasmine. I don't mean to like pick at you, you know, but like, you know, I think I've got some years on you, so I know that could be a little tough stuck inside for you youngins, you know.
But you got Dave and CJ saying the same thing, and they're old.
I don't know. Yeah, being around each other, just all up under each other, it's just like too much. Like, I don't know, but like we have like kind of what you were saying. Well, I think a few of you guys, but like Rayvon has his like back room that like has been slowly being put together. So like he's back there on his Xbox compared to like our bedroom or the living room. So like I'm in the living room with the what's it called? The fire sticks. Like I have all my little thingies there, and then he's in his back room doing his stuff. And then when we want to bother each other, we will. And then when we want a space, we go back. That is how we cope. So we're not always just up under each other.
It seemed like it boiled down to space and keeping busy for everybody. That's what it really is. And when you're working all day, and when you got space, you good. You occupied, then you know.
I mean, CJ, we literally renovated the house. Like, I mean,
you're busy. You're busy, yeah.
Very busy.
No, just to make a point of how important that space thing is. You know, like literally, like COVID was the fire. Like it's something that we have been talking about for years about getting done. Mm-hmm. And then
COVID made you.
Well, yeah, because like we're right on top of each other, and it's like we need some elbow room, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. Santino, I think your mic is staticky.
Is it me?
I don't know. Who is it? Can you guys tell?
Do we got to take turns muting or something?
Maybe it's not you. I heard you were talking, but
I've already been muted. So.
Oh yeah, he's muted. I don't know. Still hear it? Yeah, we still hear it. What is that sound?
I've been hearing it though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Okay, anyway.
What I was gonna say though, I was gonna add to that though. Like, I think that it's in the beginning, like we talked about, like it was rough, but you start to get used to it, you start to adjust. But then having a 6-year-old and school starts back, now you got another layer that you have to add on top of that. So now there's remote learning. You know, like me being in sales, I was always working from home, and it was nice to have the house to myself. I can walk around in my drawers if I want to. I can, do whatever I need to do. But now I got a kid here. We got Shantae working here. So it's not the same. So like trying to figure out, all right, you work down in the basement. I'll work here. I'll help, Zoe. It's a lot of, I don't know, give and take, it's a lot of teamwork trying to figure out how to handle that with the kids and things like that, because man, these teachers need to be making way more money. Like I have so much respect for these teachers because it's difficult. It's difficult.
Aaron, how have you guys been dealing with the remote learning?
So at first, just my high schoolers were remote learning. And then I sent the little kids, they go to private school. So I kind of eased past all this other stuff, but I guess they had a COVID scare at the beginning of the month, so we've been shut down for 2 weeks. So it definitely, I didn't expect it to take up a lot of my time like it does, because now I have to sit at the table, because aside from Jace, my niece and nephew lives here now too. So that's 2 6-year-olds and a 4-year-old.
Oh man!
And then the devices, we have been blessed to have enough devices, but then they go out randomly. So now it's like, okay, you guys got to share, and they're elbowing, and somebody got smacked upside the head, and somebody has to take a bathroom break. So I'm literally just like sitting there on my phone playing teacher's assistant. But it hasn't been horrible just yet. But I am counting down the days till February 16th. And that's supposed to go back.
Yeah, it's been tough. That part's been, like you said, it's a completely different world now. It was just like, at first it was like, okay, we got to work from home. This isn't so bad. But then when it was like, wait, the kids are doing what? They stay here with us? How the hell? I still don't know how. Every single day, we're just like one day at a time.
Yeah,
but Leah's back in daycare. Leah's in daycare, so that helps. But, now Zoe's going through the same stuff we're going through. With us being cooped up and stuff, we gotta make sure we get her outside, and like it's cold. So
outside in the cold, yeah,
man, it's different.
And everything is closed, so you can't take them anywhere. So it's like,
right, yes, it's like getting really creative on a whole lot of fronts. We have a comment. I'll just read it real quick. Have any of you noticed the expectations changing? Like your spouses expect something different than usual?
Yes. So I am unemployed. I was off for a few months, and I went back to work for a few months, and then I got permanently laid off. So now it's just like that what's for dinner question is a little more often now. And I'm like, the same thing goes for dinner in 2019. What are you talking about? That's the only real expectation change, is like meal prep, and I've always kind of been the one responsible for like running errands and stuff, but now I actually do stuff like take his stuff to the cleaners and little stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, is this what like stay-at-home mom is like? Because I don't like it at all. But other than that, we're pretty much operating like we always have.
Anyone else want to respond to Will?
Like same with us. I feel like we kind of already had like a system to divvy up like chores, if you will, and that doesn't necessarily change either. There's just little things like if I know that she's home, if I know she's home and I have to be at work, she might have to run to the store for me, or she has to run to the store for me, or go and run and take care of an errand or something like that. But it's more of availability than an expectation. Her time is still just as valuable as my time, even if I'm the one that has to leave for work, because she
trying to get brownie points.
No, time out. Time out.
Different.
Hilariously.
Ours was different in the same. Like we had our. Oh, sorry.
No, I was like hilariously. Like she works more than I work when I'm in office at home. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and that has been like from the start, and that's just like her work ethic. I kind of make fun of her, like, man, you're the only person that's signing it. Like, we're talking March 18th, right? Like, you're the only person that's probably signed. And she's like, I don't understand. Like, these all these work emails piled up. Like, because you're the only one answering them.
Workaholic,
Like,
classic workaholic.
So just being mindful of that and just like kind of not overdoing it, like just like, oh, well, I know you're home, you should do this type of stuff. It never did that. Like, cooking has always fallen on me. You guys have known me for a long time. What do I like to do? So I still cook, even though like I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
That's my paintbrush.
Ours does shift every day depending on who did what. Like before COVID, we had our routine like you just described of stuff that like he would do and I would do. And then we tried to keep that up. But when, it just changes. If Dave's had a long day, I could tell. If I've had a long day, he could tell. And there's just a shift that happens. You might do the dishes 2 days in a row, whereas we would normally make like every other day, or just different things. It's just easier to just go with the flow, and every day just like we know what needs to be done. The one thing I don't do is take out the garbage and shovel. Those are the 2 things I don't do, rather. And then other than that, though, it's kind of just go with the flow. You could kind of read your partner, just try to feel it out.
No, and I think it's very important to be able to maintain that flexibility, because one thing can work for 15 years, but you never know what's gonna. But you never know what's gonna change. You never know what's gonna change within yourselves, like on the individual level. Like every couple needs to be able to adjust and adapt to those type of things. As far as like you not doing garbage and shovels, man. You know what though? Legit, I hate to be the one dude that makes his girl do any of that stuff. Like, and be that dude in public. I'm gonna be honest.
JB, we haven't heard from you.
Talk about you.
JB, we haven't heard from you. What's changed in y'all's routine, or did you notice anything different?
No. Like I said, I still go to work the same. LaShawn still goes to work the same. We still do the same stuff. Like the role in the house hasn't changed. I work 12 hours. She works 8. So by the time I get home, it's like she put Jordan to bed, watch a couple movies, then it's time to go to sleep, get back up. Nice. So we got the same. We're lucky in doing the same stuff over and over again.
I miss the routine. That's awesome.
I was gonna say, go ahead.
One thing I will say is when I was stuck at home for those 3 months, I was going stir crazy. He was still getting out to work, so he never had the stir crazy thing. Even when we were stuck in the house for a month, he was fine. I was going nuts. So I'm more of the outside person. I will say.
Play PS5 all day.
Anybody else?
That's your relief.
Did anyone experience a situation where the expectations changed though, like significantly? Did anyone experience that? Oh, Jasmine.
I'm like, Rayvon looked like I'll say something.
We both had our own apartment, so like we're still all like trying to figure out like the expectations from both ends to an extent. But
that's tough. In 2020.
Right. Yeah, like when I had my apartment, when I tell you my shit was spotless, bro, I literally swept and mopped every day. Like I was like, like laundry was always done. There was never dishes left in the sink. But like moving here, okay, so I came from a studio apartment, and this is a 3-bedroom. Okay, so it's a lot of space. A lot of this stuff isn't mine, but like I have to put my stuff somewhere. So like it's just so difficult because I almost feel like overwhelmed that there's so many rooms to clean, and I'm like I can't do this. Like I can do like simple like dusting and like I don't know, like sweeping the room like only so much, or like sweeping like the bathrooms and stuff because I hate dirt when you're walking around. But like I don't do it as often because I just get overwhelmed by how much space we have. So I'm just, I know that sounds like, bogus, I guess, but I don't clean as much.
It's different.
Huh?
It's different.
Oh, it's 100% different. And like sometimes I walk in the house and I'm like, great on. Because I'm like I like pile out all of our like laundry in our living room, and then like, I would do the laundry. Like sometimes like if like we're doing something and then it gets left or whatever, I don't put it back in the hamper so I don't have to resort it. And then I'm looking and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't do this. Or like I see like 3 hampers full because I'm used to just me, and like sometimes his clothes are in my hamper, like if he were to spend the night. Like now it's just every day we both go to work, every day we have clothes. It's double this, it's double everything every day. And I'm just like, okay, so we're still just inside. But I usually do the laundry. We usually split dishes. Like I'm like a tub scrubber and stuff like that. He can get 2 fucks, but I'm like, it's gross. Like, no, we need to like scrub our damn tub. So like I don't know. Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out.
Get that shower spray.
So I would say when I was furloughed, expectations changed, right? So, Zoe's still in school doing remote learning. Who's going to help her? So now I'm expected to kind of be the TA and kind of help more so there. And then, Tino, like you were saying, it's kind of like reading your partner, right? So, all right, I know she's working longer hours because she's working on a new project and things like that. So how can I take some of the load off of her? So I don't like to cook, but I'll, occasionally, I can whip something up. So I'll try to see what I can do there. Or I always like to clean. I'm the person that likes to clean because I got to have things a certain way. So that never changed. But I guess it changed in a good way. Expectations changed in a good way. It was like a natural give and take.
I was gonna say, see, COVID ain't really changed because, like you just said, everybody got their certain habits and things they do. So I know in our relationship, we stuck to what we were good at, even though availability changed. Like we both were working at home, and she went back. I'm still working from home, but everything for the most part still stayed the same. She's doing hair with the girl. I'm not doing hair. She's cooking dinner because if I'm cooking dinner, it's gonna be burgers and fries or chicken wings every day. I'm doing the cleaning because I don't, I'll take the majority of the cleaning. But then, when we got Callie in school, so after work we go pick her up. You hit the clean. You do the cooking. I got Callie. Let's go play. Let's go over our work. And then when we need a break from them roles or she need a break from this, then we switch it off. And so yeah, it's reading your partner. But I think it's also reading, but then just staying at what you're good at too, because it's less stressful. Like if I'm cooking and I hate cooking and I'm gonna burn some shit up, why am I doing this when you can do it and it's relaxing for you? And then more so, I can take the baby because playing this game is frustrating for you, but I love it. So it works. You find your role.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's
it for me, man.
So what? It's so funny you guys have said cooking because I bought Derek for Christmas. I got him a Traeger wood pellet grill.
And you know what that is?
Oh my God. Oh, Google
awesome.
it. So I didn't know what it was. I just know he wanted a wood pellet grill and I just Googled it and picked the one they said was the best one. He loves it, which I'm so grateful, but he cooks all the time now. Like we've had brisket 4 weeks out of the last 5. And I'm just like, you know what? I think I'll take over dinner again. Like, so on that.
What you trying to say about that brisket? Huh?
Oh, wait.
His brisket ain't hitting?
Let me shout out his brisket. Oh my God. It's great.
Everybody's 10 pounds heavier in the house.
It's like brisket or skirt steak or chicken wings. Like when he first got it, he went in the freezer and took out all the meat. And really, it's a lot of pressure. But so I don't mind like cooking because he can grill, but he can grill. So I'm like, I'll kind of keep up with the cooking aspect because it's only so much grilled food we can eat. Because I don't work, I'm more comfortable because I know where things are in the house. I know the tasks that need to be done with the kids and the girls' school and the private school and all this other stuff. So he works. Like Derek just works. Like he actually hasn't stopped working, which God is good for us for that. So he will take Jay sometimes, because even being a stay-at-home person, it's only so much you can be around a 6-year-old without, like balling up and crying. So he will be like, okay, I got Jace this weekend, let's me and him gonna have time in our man cave. And like I said, my niece and nephew are here now, so he'll take my nephew, and my niece will probably go with the older girls just for a break. So that's I guess been like how we run around here, but I don't think nothing really has changed.
Yeah, I think the break is key because what is that saying? It's always like leave work at work, but now work is at home. So how do you separate the two? That's difficult.
All right. So that was a good conversation with that first topic, and we kind of had a little spin off. Do you want to talk about the second topic or the next question?
Yeah. So we kind of touched on some of these, but like what have you learned about your partner that you didn't know before? So before you were spending every waking moment with them, what have you learned?
I could start, unless JB, do you want to start? Okay, I could start.
My answer gonna be super boring because like we still
I ain't learned nothing. Just saying.
I think I noticed Dave is very consistent, and I didn't notice that before. Like I feel like when we were stuck together the whole time. Somebody needs to mute, I think, like an echo. Before we were stuck together, I thought he was very chaotic, and that's how Dave has always been. He's just kind of like all over the place, not like in a bad way, but just one of those people who's just kind of all over the place. But then when I started observing him more during this period where we're just talking, I'm like, you know what? He's very consistently like on and off, and he has his moments where he's very much just like always supportive, always there with the girls, doing like consistent things and things that I took for granted before. And then when I thought back to him, I'm like, he's always been that way. And it's just consistent things that are just awesome. Like I said, like the support, the love and caring, and the playing with the kids, and the taking out the garbage, and the emptying the dishwasher, things that I just took for granted before. And he's very consistent in a good way.
I have to keep you around. Okay.
Look at you. Shut up. Anybody else? Something you noticed about your partner that you didn't notice before?
Are you still going?
What?
Are we still echoing? I'm assuming we were the ones that echoed because Peter.
You're echoing a little. Yeah, you're staticky. Has your partner surprised you? In a good way or bad way?
Who's talking?
I think
he keeps muting me. Are we still talking?
Yeah.
Well, I can go while we're waiting for Jasmine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just touching on what I said earlier, about her work ethic. That's the one thing that kind of blew my mind a little bit. And it wasn't even just about work, because like the thing is we did take on our renovation project, and I go hard for like a couple days and then be like, man, that's it. I'm frustrated. I'm done for the week. Like I'll deal with this on Monday, like Tuesday. But then she goes, she worked. She's doing her work day, and then goes upstairs and like paints the room from like 5 o'clock till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And it's just like, well, I guess I should go up there tomorrow.
Sounds like she makes you better.
Well, yeah, she's not a procrastinator. That's the one thing, and I've kind of always known that about her. I have. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize to what extent she wasn't a procrastinator. just it's very much like, oh, well, why wait till tomorrow? We could do it right now, type of thing. And me, I'm like, because I have 3 days to get it done.
I'm with you,
Call
Tino.
me on the night of day 2.
I'm with you.
I have 3 days to get it done. I could do it on Thursday. But no. And the thing is, that she'll be like, okay, no, it's fine. And then she'll go up and like start working on it. And like, oh no, I get it. You could just relax, but I'm gonna try to get as much of it done right now. It's like, well, let me go upstairs. So yeah, that was a big takeaway from me from her.
Anybody else?
One thing I noticed, I used to always think, well, I ain't gonna say always. I'll just leave it at this. She actually write a lot of times. I never noticed that before. Mm-hmm. When she be saying stuff, before I just blow it off, like she don't know what she talking about. But now that I had more time to reflect on things and being around, she be right a lot of times. Who knew? So I guess I should listen more.
Actually, Derek was saying the same thing. Like, I'm going to listen to my wife more. Wow.
I thought she was probably right like 10% of the time, but it's like more like 25, 30 maybe. So I can't blow off no more,
Jasmine, did you want to say anything?
Come on, am I staticky still?
Say more.
We are ready to talk. Is it bad?
It's like on and off staticky, so I would keep talking.
Okay. Actually, I kind of agree with you, Shantae. Like, Rayvon does a lot of little things, but I didn't notice until we moved in together. Like, I wake up and I don't know, like, he'll already have like let's say we made dinner like the night before, and like we put things away, but like he'll put it away in like a container for me ready for work the next day. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Or like, I don't know, it's like random stuff. That I was just like, I knew he was like nice and like, like hearing all that stuff, but like when they do like little things, like you're just like, okay, that's cool. Or like, so it's been really bad and snowy. Like sometimes before we go out, he's like, oh, don't come out yet. I'm gonna go in the car and like get everything ready. Then I'll text you to come out. Like, So I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
I would say I've noticed it's kind of similar with the work thing. Like I always hear about the stories, with work and projects and how tedious and stressful they can be. But like being here and seeing her in her element, man, Shantae, for real, she's a beast. She's a beast at work, man. She be killing it, man. So I learned it kind of helps me to not. When she says she's tired, I know that she's actually tired. So before it would be, she'll work a regular 8 to 5 or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I work too. Like, I'm tired too. But then I think about all the stuff that she'll do, right? Like, so she'll work and then she'll come up, give me a break during lunch. So from like 12 to 1, I get to relax. But she's like, spending time with Zoe. So she doesn't really get like a true break. And then after work, maybe she'll make dinner while I go get the little one and do all that other stuff. So when it comes to the weekend, I'm like, dude, why are you always tired? And then it kind of makes me feel bad. Like I know I do a lot too. But so that was one thing I learned. The second thing is she has much better patience with the 6-year-old than I do. And I'm finding that out playing teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. And she does such a much better job with that than I do.
And that goes back to what Cliff was saying. Stay in your element. Don't stress yourself out. Like, it's so much easier for me to work with her than you. I feel like, and that's because you guys are so similar. She's just like you. And I know how to deal with you. So I know how to get her to just think on her own. And he's like,
yeah.
So, thank you. I'm like blushing if I didn't have one foundation.
I think women are better at parenting anyway. Like, actually better.
In some respects. In our relationship, at least, Dave is a lot more fun. I'm more organized, and so it works.
We're always fun.
That's why kids love me. Yeah. Even your nieces and nephews back in the day, they knew my name and didn't even know you. Oh, you Dave's girlfriend.
Yeah. That was heartbreaking for a while, and then I just got used to it. 14 years later. I don't know what he said nope about, but I'm sure anything good for me. We haven't even got on to another. You guys are funny with your comments. Keep them coming. They're awesome.
Any guy that says he's the best is lying.
Right, any guy who says that his wife is sitting next to him, like
holding the kid in front of the video game while he's playing. That's what he be doing.
Right. Do you want to go to the next question, Dave?
Yeah, and then for everyone watching, please feel free to chime in with your questions and comments and stuff too. We'll gladly take those questions. I think another thing, we're kind of hitting on a lot of these. So I would say, let's make this juicy. We're all grown folks here. So how do you guys keep things spicy, Cajun in the relationship especially during COVID? Like, how do you take it however you want? You can take this in whatever direction you want.
That's how they keep it spicy. They take it however they want.
I do.
Honestly,
okay.
Honestly, for us, it's been tough finding moments to be intimate. Our anniversary was in early December, and I mean, I think at that point we realized, oh my gosh, like all of our events are now with our kids. It's like they get a little thing over here at their table, they got their little setup, and then we have our setup at the dining room table. We try to keep separate from them, but it's so hard to get like a moment to ourselves. The summer was cool. We were able to do some date days during the summer. Those were awesome because our daughter was in a summer camp. Thank God for that summer camp. But it's hard. It's hard to get rid of the stress and try to be intimate because you're so tired and stressed out from everything that's going on. My goodness. It's a lot.
I thought I was gonna learn something. You sound like me. I mean, like, especially like with the little, I always encourage. I'm like, you the boss, and I think she done bought into that because, first of all, ain't no like she stay up later than we do. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like put her to bed. No, we put ourselves to bed. And she's still up. I mean, if I'm out of place, I mean, like she in the bed. You stay in your spot. You stay in your spot. This is my spot. Like so. You can't outlast her because she gonna stay up till midnight. I mean, spicy, please. I mean, what at 5 a.m. spicy? Ain't no spicy no more. Them days is gone. I'm open to suggestions. I mean, so go ahead, Aaron. I mean, JB. What's the trick, man?
So I will say, I have signed up for the VIP for Fenty. So that has helped.
Lingerie, for those of you who don't know.
And they have menswear. But Derek actually has, and obviously I guess because he's the man, but he actually there is no such thing as not having time. Like, even if it's like, what time the kids go to bed? Like,
True.
Tuesday, I expect to see you. Like, so, but really it's honestly been making time. Even if sometimes it'd be like, okay, so your period is over on this day.
11:57 a.m.
Right.
In 30
you got a phone tracker. Got an app.
It could be the mom in me, but I don't like to be so closed off because of the little kids, but Derek be like, lock that door. Like they got tablets, they be all right. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, our kids will stay up to 10 or 11 in the dark, but it just be like keep it at a college zone and you good. They don't have to know, you know what I'm saying? And our girls are upstairs, thank God, because we were gonna switch, but they would have been scarred. So but you just we found a way to make time.
Yeah, we got to do the same thing. And so, like you said, it's important. Dave feels the same way. I'll let him talk about it.
You summed it up, Derek. Derek got a point, man. I agree with Derek.
I agree too.
I think guys, we ready to go at any moment. It don't matter what's been going. I could be tired, work 23 and a half hours.
I'll wake up in
There's still time left.
All right.
Donna.
All right.
Hell yeah, you know.
I'm not doing any other work.
Fine. We have a comment. As a single friend and innocent bystander, I found that my friends and relationships will go to war over things that from the outside looking in shouldn't mean war, but it be war. Have y'all discovered any new pet peeves or any newfound triggers in close quarters? And how have you been dealing? It's a good question.
That's a real good question.
I think
My triggers are
at least
easy.
for me,
Goddamn it.
being married for so long, and you know, it hasn't every marriage. If anybody tells you their marriage is perfect, they lying. So we've been able to kind of we know what to do to get back to a good place. So little stuff, it be petty stuff, but when we being petty, we just being petty. We being silly. We not really arguing about something. We do the dozens all the time. Like we talk about each other all the time. I don't think my mom watching. Like we talk about each other, mama, all the time. That's because we established a friendship. So yeah, with COVID, I guess it's nothing new under the sun for us because we've been together for so long. We've lived together for the last 15 and a half years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You say get on my face.
Anybody else?
For us, we don't have any new ones, but I mean, we pretty much got the same things. But if I get on LaShawn there, she'd just say get on my face, and then like I'm big on agreeing to disagree and leaving. So like I'm not gonna argue with you. That's not my thing. I'm kind of calm.
Oh, that's my mom.
When I do get mad, I get a headache, and I don't want one of those. So it's kind of like, oh, we agree to disagree. I'm gonna go play the game. You can watch what you're watching. You know. And as far as like the spice part, like I told y'all, nothing really changed. My sister and my niece watch Jordan while I'm at work. So on the weekends, if we want to get away, I drop Jordan off over there since they watch him anyway, or we'll take their kids for them and give them a break. So it's like, it's not really, like I said, pandemic is like regular life for us.
That's awesome.
I don't really want to go outside anyway. So.
Anyone else?
I feel like for us, I think we argue more that we're around each other, only because it's just still so technically new of just being. So it's just like everyone knows I'm sick at the mouth, like, you know. So it's like I'm sick at the mouth a lot more now because I'm around him all the time. Like, so little things he does, I'm just like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit right now because I got to deal with you in another 2 minutes when I walk into the kitchen. Like, you know.
The slower you talk, Jasmine, the better it is.
I don't know.
Okay.
Does she know how to do that?
That ain't gonna work.
No.
I'm like, I know I talk fast, right?
You know what I say for me?
Sorry, Cliff, go ahead. Mercy.
I was gonna say I don't like to argue, but I don't mind having a good debate. And then my peeve is when she don't want to debate because she'll talk about she don't want to argue. But I'm trying to get her to understand arguing and debating is two different things. But she don't want to debate, so then that's my pet peeve. I get angry. So.
I guess I could kind of say I'm the same way. Growing up in our big family, I just talk sometimes and it probably sounds argumentative, and Dave will respond and I'm like, what happened? Because he's like, I'm like, he went, whoa, this is me talking. But again, in close quarters, when we're always around each other, in the very beginning, it was a whole lot of that
Sound like he's sensitive. That's all.
Little things turn into big things. We had to learn how to talk to each other, being around each other all day, every meal, every hour. Yeah. These are the little things I do in the morning. Now you're into my morning routine when before you were already gone by now. Yes, there were some little arguments for sure that were stupid. And there are still some that pop up randomly where we both be looking at each other. Where does this come from? Why are we stupid? Sorry. Was somebody else gonna say something?
Right. I mean, you know, for me, it just comes down to like
you want to switch?
What hill I'm willing to die on, you know, like over some quirks, you know, and I know that like over time those things can add up, and like, you know, like I said, we've only really been living together for a couple of years. I get that, but there are definitely little things here that annoy you about anybody, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like, do I care that much? And you know, like literally, it's not like the way I tend to approach these things. Like, do I really care that much? And if I don't, forget it. It's not worth my time. Like, it's not. It's just not gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? Like, stupid things. You know. That's kind of what I learned.
Yeah, I'm constantly reminding myself, like, I knew this when I married him. I'm not about to get mad about it now. You know what I mean? And it's never drove me crazy before, so that's how I'm able to deduce the fact that it's a new COVID thing, and I need to just get over it and move on. That's how I know I'm petty. I'm checking my petty, knowing that something that I'm complaining about him doing is something he's always done. Nothing new. So I tell myself to get over it actively.
Shantae is an instigator anyway.
I am, but he's used to that. It's the constant being around it that is frustrating.
Yeah, it's kind of like I would like equate it to like being in a house, right? We just purchased, and you knew when you bought the house, there's some little things that you want to fix around the house, but yeah, it's okay. But now that you're stuck in a house 24/7, those little things just seem to be magnified.
It's like that little crack is getting bigger every single day, right? The little crack
yeah, and I always have to catch myself too, because I'm competitive in everything. So like, you say something, no, okay, what about this? What about that? So I'm like trying to win, but then I have to remember. So after a few comments, I have to reel it in and be like, all right. We can't, you know what I mean? Like, we're a team. I can't go after you like that, right?
Yep.
So Dave, you know, you bring up a good point, and it's actually something that I guess we got lucky it came up right now. This idea of winning in these relationships, and I think this is I know, you know, and I feel like it's something that you know, we all kind of fall into this trap. You know, we want to win the argument, we want to win, and like ultimately, are you winning? Like when you know, hear me out.
If you want to say how often you're winning, you're losing a lot.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like
I agree,
you guys don't understand this. You work the long ass day. You're in bed. It's 12 midnight, and that's when she wants to have these discussions. And you're trapped. You know what I mean? You gotta have these. But I mean, you know, I think, but I think we get too caught up on this idea of winning these arguments. You know, you're not. You're you know, if you're, especially, you know, you want to talk about like the spiritual aspects of being married or in a relationship, like you're arguing with yourself, yo. Like, you're trying to win with yourself. Like, Like, you're supposed to be that connected with this person that they're an extension of you. So if you win, part of you just lost. You know what I mean? Like,
That's deep.
But we need to move away from that, and it doesn't help, like, especially like, oh my God, don't get me started on like social media and like these relations these relationships that people go and like put front and center on social media for all friends to see, and they get into these arguments, or they get into these, people are like anger posting about their spouses or their partners on like social media, and then like the audience isn't fucking helping.
Right.
They're sitting there, they're smiling, laughing faces and angry faces and shit, and they're just edging the person on. It's like these conversations need to stay in the home. They need to stay. You need to approach these things as a partnership, not a competition. That's not your competition. You're not.
I don't think any of us do that, which is great.
What's the prize here?
Let's say I think me and Derek are completely competitive. Like we're always like, it doesn't help that he's a whole foot taller than me, so I definitely can't just let him get the best of me all the time. Like we're naturally like that, so I'm not even going to say we're not competitive. I think that their arguments need to be put in a box. Like when it's real things, yeah, there's no winners or losers. But if it's like trash talking about certain things, like I said, we're petty, but we're petty. Like that's our relationship. But I think you just have to kind of put things where they go. Like you said, the little minor stuff like cleaning up after each other and doing the dishes, like that stuff you can get past. It's finances and trust and respect. Like that stuff there's no winners to that. There's no winners, no losers. Like you got to be on one accord. But if I talk about what you wear or how I dress you, I'm not saying I dress my husband, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to be silly and competitive, long as you put stuff in the right box.
Did you see that banner?
You right.
Rumor has it Aaron always loses the argument.
The person controlling our comments is a little biased. He has issues.
I think I saw the person who put that banner up. I think I saw him at the Capitol. That's another thing.
I think starting to agree to disagree was probably one of the best things me and Jermaine really did start doing. Because some things, it's like you're just not going to agree on. And if they don't affect your everyday life, you don't have to agree on everything. You can be like, okay, well, does this affect us in any way from our daily lives? No. So you know what? We can't agree to disagree on that. You can continue to be crazy and wrong, and I can continue to be right.
So that means you don't mean it then. See?
But if you disagree, which means you don't agree.
You're never going to agree.
Right. You're never going to agree on certain things.
But you said that they're crazy and you're going to allow them to be crazy. See, sometimes I can't let that go. I feel like it's my job to correct crazy.
But but that's the thing. Like, all right, and I'll say this a lot. Like,
the bad part is I'll say that.
But you know what? Sometimes
you gotta let crazy be crazy, dog.
Let crazy be crazy.
Yeah. But sometimes after I think about it for a little while and we come back to the conversation, I'm like, you know what? I thought about it and I see what you're saying in a different way. I still don't agree with you, but now I kind of understand. But when you're into that argument in that moment, you can't even always like hear what they're saying.
Exactly.
I'm right. That's the way to go.
I hear LaShawn. And then I'll say, you know what? We can agree to disagree. Then I'll walk away. Then I'll come back.
Talking under your breath.
And I know we agreed to disagree, but let me throw this last couple points in.
No, you gotta give it at least a day, CJ. You gotta
day.
Everything's being said in that.
That's why I got that tally sheet at my house. I'm tallying up all my wins. Okay, we keep track over here. I keep track.
I think instead of like seeking to agree to disagree, I think you should really search to find understanding. You know, instead of just agreeing to disagree, just find understanding, trying to understand where your partner is coming from, what conclusions they've drawn. You know, what is it that is leading them to whatever the subject is. And I think that's the important part, is to find that understanding, because without that understanding, then there's gonna be animosity. Then it's like you're not trying to listen to me.
So that's true.
Why it's important to agree to disagree in the moment, so that you can have time to find the understanding.
Yeah. So
then
you just hit the nail on the head.
Thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I see what he, like, where he's coming from. Like, now I get where he was coming from. I don't still necessarily agree, but I get what he was talking about. Blah blah blah.
But that's the challenge right there. Is in the moment. In the moment, you're not thinking about that. You're just, there's my point. This is the point that I'm trying to get across, and you keep bumping heads. But then, like you said, after the fact, now how do we get to?
Everybody wants to win.
Yes. So how do you get to that point sooner? Is the question. How you get to?
I kind of like Shantae and JB's. I kind of the way they approach it, where this is an automatic option. Like, it's a fail-safe. You guys know your relationship. You guys know when you guys are getting too heated, and you guys know when to take a step back to regroup and, you know, rethink, you know, then reconnect. But that takes, you know, that takes conversations, like kind of like a proactive approach to conflict resolution, like just going forward, just like, okay, if we get into these conflicts, we need to have these steps. But that's like changing a cultural relationship. You have to go, like, sit down and like plan all of these things. And like Sean, I'm assuming that you guys, this is like a regular occurrence with you guys, right? Like, you guys know to default to agree to disagree, and that's a great thing. You know, it's a conversation you guys have had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a default. After a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, once we realize we're going to it's no point. But we don't get into a lot of heated debates, to be honest.
Derek. Hot mess.
Derek is making some good points here.
Especially
y'all are hot mess.
That's 14 years. That's 14 years of marriage, and we've been together almost 19 years. Yeah.
You gotta let the wife win, especially if
you know,
started dinner yet.
Y'all are a hot mess.
That's a good point. I see
all the men are like but it's all in good fun. It's all in good
I got an air fryer.
Does anyone else have anything they want to add before? Because we're already at an hour. I don't know if there are more comments out there from the viewers, but we have a few more questions. Otherwise, put up some comments if there are any. But I guess the last question would be, so what's your all's plan to tackle 2021 as a couple? Any adjustments that you have to make, or maybe not?
I'm going on a vacation, damn it. I'm taking a road trip. I'm finding me a cabin in the woods. I just need to get out of the house. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm over sitting in the same apartment every day, all day, every day, all day. And I go to work, so that still like says something.
Everything's shut down though. Can't go nowhere. Oof, baby.
I'm going on a road trip. Like,
you can. I'm out of here. I'm with LaShawn. No.
I don't care. It's just still a different setting than being in the house. Like, I'm going somewhere I could go hiking and be outside, and it's warm, and I still don't have to be around people. It's ways, and I'm gonna do it.
Hawaii.
Oh, we want to go to Hawaii for our 10-year. Hopefully, we can make that happen.
We're going
to go next month.
I'm out.
We're trying to go for our 40th birthday, so that's 3 years.
Nice. Yeah.
That's my 2020 21 plans though. It's for real. Like, I'm tired of postponing and putting off stuff with, you know, because of COVID stuff. So I mean, I'm just gonna play it safe, take precautions. But I'm out of here. So I'm putting trips together and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat 2021 like I do any other year.
I gotta convince
driving across country if I got to.
Hey, whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? Just be safe, but I'm done with this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I
mom
be
is getting
looking
her.
forward.
What'd you say?
No, I said I actually look forward to dropping Callie off at school just so I can get out of the house. I come right back and go to
Man,
work. But I'd be like,
that
you
would
ready to
be.
go? Like that's my excitement. You know what I'm saying? I get dressed to go drop her off. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Put on my new outfit so her little teachers can see.
That's so
That's
true.
it. And come back home, man. Nobody else see me for the day. Nah.
Man,
Nah, see,
Are we gonna talk about? Oh,
I
no.
done redone my entire home theater, man. So
There you
Nice.
go.
no, I don't even leave. I don't even need to go to movie theaters no more.
No one does.
I don't know. I like everything about the movie experience. Like, even though we can watch everything here now because of HBO Max and all of that. Like, seeing Tenet in the theaters, that was like the one movie we saw last year in the theaters. We went ahead before everything closed back down. It was like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, I missed the theater so much. Y'all conversation is so much happier than the single folks with y'all.
No, hold on. But maybe ultimately, like you are with somebody during this time. Imagine being stuck. Like, imagine being stuck in a house for a year with nobody else. Like, like you go insane. Like, there's nothing else to do. Like, you're talking you be talking to the damn dog all the time. Like, before COVID, I started talking to the dog. Before
People don't have dogs.
Before Dan moved in, I was talking to the damn dog. Me and him have whole conversations. He just looks at me, and I swear to God, he talks back to me. It's just I totally understand that. I can imagine how it would be for people who don't have somebody. Ultimately, you're still fighting with somebody. It's still somebody there.
Yeah, fighting somebody sometimes is better than just being bored talking to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you're already running out of shows. I mean, we run out of shows. There's 2 people, and we're trying like I'm tired of all this crap already. It sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, just keep it real. I'm sorry, single people. I'm really sorry. If I was single through COVID,
that would be tough. That's going to be another live discussion.
If I was single through COVID,
mental health,
would I stay in the house? Or I would be one, or would I be one of those people sneaking out to go see people? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have did it either. I think after like 5 months, I would have been out and about, maskless.
I don't know about maskless and reckless, but I think I'd have been out somewhere.
We were looking at all these crazy people going out to these bars, being like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, I'm happily married, happily at home, nice and comfortable.
Right.
I'd be the first one. You guys have known me for a long time. I'd be the first one out the damn door. Wait, you guys have known me through multiple times of being single. When am I ever home when I'm single? Like, I'm never home. I'm out all the time.
Yeah.
I feel for folks. I feel for them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be in the house. I'd be that one friend that keeps going by your house. And you're like, get the hell out! Like, and I'd be like, nah, man. I'm talking to the walls. Amaya's sick of me. She won't talk to me no more. She said I'm trying to become friends with her friends.
That's what happens.
You know what? It's some perks to being single. It's some perks to being single during COVID. I'm just thinking them through. Like, you got to save money, right? Because you ain't spending money out at the bars. Your dates are what? Take in food or walks in the park. I mean, hey, it's.
I'm also saving money being married because we ain't going out. There's not bars, and I just go I go and have these fancy ass barbecues every weekend, just the 2 of us. It's amazing.
Hey, it works in my favor because I like going out, but I always like to take the food home so I can watch a movie, prop my feet up. Shantae used to hate that. So now it caters more to me, which is awesome. I go pick the food up, come back and eat it. Watch
and
and
I
do what I
want
want
to
to
eat
do.
at the restaurant.
That goes back to that introvert extrovert thing. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people who are just like, it's the greatest time ever. I mean, like even for me, like I'm weirdly like I'm an extrovert. You guys know me. I could talk and I get along well with everybody. But man, do I love my solitude. You know, and, like all this, all of this time, like I love this. I love this. I don't have to leave the house and I get to hang out with y'all.
I can't wait for things to open back up. I can't wait for Aaron's summer party. I can't wait for people to get together. I like literally am like, man, I just went out to eat the other day. Dave gave me permission to go by myself with one other person, and it was awesome. And I miss it. So like, it's insane that we've been at this for almost a full year, and it's gonna be another few months. But sounds like we're on the through, which is amazing. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all, the panelists, for sharing your stories. They've been awesome. Check out our podcast; it's at the bottom. Check out our merchandise. A few of us on here have our mugs in black and red and black. We have shirts, etc. Support small business. But yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you guys.
Yeah. And if you guys have topics and things that you want to hear and discuss, feel free to put it on our page and let us know.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
All right.